All right, personally, I really didn't even feel like doing this, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take time out to address Domo Guapo's comments on Stat Select rap battles. Y'all know Domo Guapo is who I passed the stage to. We're actually gonna go over a couple of things. This is my response. I'm gonna put this on the YouTube. I'm gonna put this on the Facebook page. I'm gonna have this broadcasting on my personal page, and I'm gonna have this broadcasting on the Facebook group. Now, for those of you who don't really know what's going on, this is all battle rap. Um, we are going to go against the stage in a league versus league for next year. The stage is the platform that I previously owned, and we're going to go against each other, see who's the better platform in terms of talent. I mean, let's be serious. Like, I'm not even going to talk about that just as much as I really didn't want to talk about this either. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. I actually have something that I typed out. Okay, I'm lying. I typed it out and then I sent it to Chat GPT and let it make things sound a little better. You already know. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But what I want to do first is respond to what Domo Guapo said himself. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get to the point. And I got a couple other things I want to throw in there too. But as of right now, we're just gonna focus on this. I'm not going to speak on other topics involving the stage or other people who have said things and etc. because there's simply no point in doing that. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's before we do this shoot interview, let me see how this looks because I know that light is very distracting. So before we do this shoot interview, I want to go ahead and make sure that I move to a spot where the light isn't directly in your faces. All right, there we go. So we're going to do this instead. Now, we are here for the shoot. You guys know that old Static is a big wrestling fan, so this is the shoot interview. I know this is what the people like to see. I'm all about entertainment, so let's entertain the people. Now, for months, I've had to see interview after interview after interview, and live after live, and broadcast after broadcast, and just everything. Stat this, stat that. Just a ton of stuff. And hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find a spot where we can get away from this. Trying to find a spot where we can get away from this light. But I don't think it's gonna happen. And I don't want to go over there. I actually want to stand up and do this. So, hey, we'll just do this instead. We're gonna go back to this light right here. Because I don't want that light in y'all face, man. But yes, this is in fact the shoot. For my people that's into wrestling, you know what a shoot is. We're gonna have to go right here like this. All right, so now we're just gonna get to what's going on. There's no need to give y'all the backstory of what happened. That's Stat and May Show. You can find the episodes for all of that. We're just going to discuss this comment that Domo Guapo made. So, shout out to Zilla. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Even though he over there with the stage guys. He dropped in the group recently, and he made a post, and he was like, "This guy versus this guy, this guy versus this guy," and he made a stage versus SSRB matchup. Card. He made a card out of Stat Select versus from Stat Select versus the stage, and he was like, the stage 5-zip clean sweep. It blew up. Everybody went and commented on it, and then Domo Guapo finally spoke on his opinion about the Stat Select rap battles or just his talent in general versus anybody else. So what he had to say was this. He says, "I haven't said anything because it's really nothing to talk about, but I got time today. This league is literally full of guys that got kicked out or left the stage because they can't hang in the NBA. The NBA being his version of the stage that he currently owns. Like, bro, y'all need to rethink y'all careers. You're under a guy who named his own league after him just because he wanted everything to be about him. Imagine if I called the stage Domo and the Boys. I've been to more places and platforms than your entire roster. You guys are Twitter space warriors because nobody will book you live. The stage throws events every month. We don't have time to be on spaces." This is a quote from Domo Guapo, the owner of the stage. This is a quote from him. Y'all are never leaving that barbershop. Stat ain't putting y'all in no position to elevate. My brothers actually get names and are throwing their own events. I have only been a league owner for 4 months and I lap y'all and book names because they are really my peers and we have the money to do so. Y'all are a bunch of guys that can't think for yourself and retarded. Let's not get into any money because half of y'all needed me or my staff for something. I don't have to prove that I have money. Y'all see what we've been doing. Now, to get to the point of these matchups in this card, the stage will fund this entire event because it doesn't cost nothing but a bag of chips and a soda to rent out the barbershop. This is the only post I'm going to make and speak on, you guys. Be blessed and go make 30 posts about that. Hashtag TSTS, hashtag Big Trap. That is what Domo Guapo said. That is a direct quote. Now, what I'm going to do is actually take time out for the next few minutes, breaking down everything he said and letting you know what Static thinks about it. Also reading this response that I've had sitting for quite some time now, actually. So in the first part, you know, he says that he hasn't said anything about it and there's nothing to talk about, but he has time today. And my thing with that is, I mean, there isn't nothing to discuss unless we're talking about my talent for creating narratives. And I'm going to read this off to y'all. This is what I'm saying. In the context of battle rap, I don't mind showcasing that talent. However, it's important to recognize that we are not on equal footing. We didn't propose a league versus league scenario. It was your talent that brought that idea forward. When I gave the stage to you, I acknowledged your potential as a promoter, even though personally, I had reservations about your actions. It was disheartening to see how many people mocked my new venture when I returned, especially considering the respect and silence I showed when handing over the stage to you, which is pretty much me saying that, you know, when I gave the league off, I didn't say nothing bad about anybody or anything. I went on about my business, and we all know I had to hear the mocking and the jokes and the clowning when I did come back upon request that I came back. And I didn't really like it, but I know how this stuff goes, and I know this is all battle rap and everything. And yeah, there's really nothing there's nothing to talk about because the majority of the talent that you have are guys that either I discovered or guys who were on my platform and platforms before that. I mean, it's only been 3, count this one. It's only been 2 other ones. So, yeah, some of the talent in this league, some of my talent in this league has been under my guidance since 2014. People trust and follow me because I have a proven track record and a unique approach. Even though some may not personally like me, we can still work together using our business savvy. I support them when they stumble, just as I have done with other leagues in the past. The stage, especially since I shared it with you, Domo Guapo, is not comparable to the NBA. It wasn't even when I owned it. However, it can serve as an excellent independent platform for up-and-coming talent. Calling it the NBA might be a stretch, even if we have confidence in it. I have talented individuals who have achieved more than some of your main engaging artists, and 98% of those artists were brought in by me beforehand. While I acknowledge your efforts in bringing fresh faces, let's be completely honest. I don't think that deserves any type of explanation. It's not the NBA. Let's be honest here. I get what you're trying to say, but even them in comparison to us is not the NBA. And if I really decide to drop stats, then it's going to be a clear-cut difference. Moving forward, you also said that these guys need to reconsider their careers. And this right here is where I'm going to show you where we're different as promoters, especially being that a lot of guys on your side and even some on mine have quit, came back. I've worked with, we've had a bit of an issue or disagreement about something. They come back, work with them again, come back, work with them again, whatever the case may be. And, I still let them come back around. It's all business with me. So this is for me in response to that comment. If you suggest that an artist should reconsider their career choice, it would be logical to apply that same reasoning to your own talent. Since a majority of my artists were rejected by you initially, it seems contradictory to claim that your roster consists solely of elite, commercially successful individuals. In reality, only a small percentage of artists on any independent platform achieve widespread success. I'm one in that percentage. Do your research on me if you don't know. If it was as simple as that, we would all be professionals, which we are.
A skilled promoter would strive to develop and nurture what may be initially considered average talent. Something that I'm known to do is take the guys that nobody thinks is good, or the lower cards or the mid cards or whatever, and I elevate them, I build them up, and they all go up and stop. We know this for a fact. And yes, you boy, more than working, man. Come on, man. I'm getting back right, man. I'm working. I'm working. But seriously, you know, take that talent and develop it instead of telling them that they need to go somewhere else. But of course, if you're a promoter who thinks that your platform is the NBA already, when you got battles on the channel with 100 views and they're live, they're not even spaces, where I understand people may not promote. You know, we just kind of take that in. So I also said, I understand your point, but it's important to consider that the person, look, I'm gonna just put it like this. I'm not gonna sit over here. This is a lot for a response. You know, Chat GPT was tripping. I said what I had to say, and it made everything, you know. So I'm gonna put it like this. You said something about the barbershop. The barbershop is a staple in the area. Shout out to Gino for, you know, allowing me to have that space and throwing the events there. One of the main things is this: just because you get bigger or better venues, you know, a real businessman is still going to market that one that he started with, still going to have the smaller one to market, or whatever you want to say. Just because you have money as a league owner, what does that mean? Like, people think, let me tell you something. You spend less and you profit more. Also, a lot of the deals that you guys were getting was directly through me. Those were my connections. So just keep that in mind when you have something to say about how much something costs. That was really through me, because, you know, doing good business and building good relationships with people gives you those type of discounts. And, you know, if you want to spend a lot more to look cool, go ahead. Battle rap ain't the most profitable thing out here. So if you don't want a good return on your investment, keep doing what you're doing. You booking names, cool. You booking these nice looking spots, cool. But I'm just saying, like, been a league owner for a long time. Been in this promoting business for a very long time. I done been up here and I done been down here. I've seen the good and bad, you know. And I'm telling you right now, this ain't even just for battle promoters. We all know this. Any people who've been promoting for more than 5 years, especially, you know your area, you know where you're at, and you know that how things play out. You want to spend less and profit more. Just some business advice. You can look cool all day booking names, but what happens when the names got to go back to their respective platforms, and you're stuck with that roster of talent that you don't develop? You just put them against names and get the cloud of the name off onto your guys. Then what's going to happen when they go home? What's going to happen when people only want to show up to your events when you're booking the names? That means that your talent is not doing the job. It's the names that's bringing them in to watch the talent. It's the names and the names aren't even getting the talent over. They're getting themselves over. They're just there for the crowd to say, hey, I seen so-and-so. And then your talent is sitting there and left high and dry when it's all said and done, because they can't draw anybody in to any of the events unless you book a name. So ultimately, they're not even bringing anybody in to spend any money purchasing tickets to come and watch. You know, another thing, good comparison, you could have a Charger, but if you have a Camry, which one is going to be your everyday driver? You know, I seen a few other comments that you said, and Twitter Spaces have been beneficial. I've seen celebrities in there. We've seen some really fire battles get set up, and you can do this from the comfort of your own home. Use everything that you have. You know, you want to book live events and live only, I respect it, cool, but don't come for us when what we're doing on Spaces has definitely gotten artists bigger and better opportunities than what you've been doing with your guys. We're only doing this because you're attacking us. This is a shoot at y'all over there because, you know, you want to have the promoter wars. You pick the right one to have a promoter war with, because you're not going to win this war. I'm up one already, you know, and if anybody else wants any smoke with SSRB, you feel me, we can make that happen too, when it's important, of course. You know, one thing about the Spaces is that our champion has gotten scouted off Spaces. We've had a few other artists get scouted off. You know what? The co-owner of the stage over there with you actually got scouted to a league because of our event where we booked him against our talent. So once again, how are the Spaces not beneficial when one of the most important figures over there, which is one of your staff members, which is my guy 7, shout out to him, got scouted through our platform? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make much sense. This is where you're just talking to look good for the cameras. This ain't no promo. This is a shoot. You get what I'm saying? This is a shoot. This is not a promo. This is me being 100% serious right now. I'm not trying to hype up no battles. I'm being honest. We're just talking. We're talking business right now. You know what I mean? We're talking business. Like, you can't do that when one of the most important staff members on your brand, on your league, under your platform, whether he co-owns it with you or not, because he co-owned it when I was over there, you know, he got his opportunity through our platform. Not his only opportunity, but he got an opportunity through us, through Twitter Spaces. That's virtual. Let's see what else I want to mention. I'm not going to criticize your roster because you haven't shared a lot of information about it. I'll just say personally that you know, you mentioned how you had more opportunities. Man, a lot of the guys on our roster have had more opportunities than the guys on your roster and have even been further, because you don't know my full roster. But from the core roster that I've seen of yours compared to guys on my roster, there is a difference. You know, it may sound good, but there is a difference. And I'm not talking about no new additions from, you know, that you just brought in yesterday. I'm talking about in general. Also, you said that you battled on more leagues than anybody. Domo, I've seen the leagues that you battled on. So look, I don't like doing this because it comes off like I'm just trying to boast and brag, and I'm not here to do that, especially when I'm getting people to these places and have shown proof of that. But you know, one thing right here. We go hard. I battle. Where else you battle? Capital Battlegrounds, OSBL. You've battled on Gates of the Garden. You battled on a bunch of different places. You've been to a bunch of different places, right? I can keep going. Creole Battle League, I believe you were booked there, and the battle didn't happen, but you were booked there. Do you know that every last one of those leagues I've either been offered to battle on, I either worked with, I've either collaborated with, or I've gotten talent sent to these platforms through important people in connection with these platforms? So when you say this type of stuff, it's like I've already been there and done that years before you were in the picture for it. So yes, congratulations. I love what you're doing, but just know that you can't do that talk with me. I don't know where you got in mind where you can do this talk with the stat. I also sell more tickets than you. So really, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. But this is what I'm saying, where you can't have that talk with me. You have to do that with somebody else. You can't do that over here. And if you think that you've been or able to go more places than me, then we can play the league owner game and find out what's up. You know, shout out to Gates. I actually haven't debuted on Gates or anything. I do remember my guy, I think it was my dude Bandit Montana, who's on URL now. He made a post in the group. I commented, and it's crazy. The name that he recommended me to actually battle on Gates at the time is on fire right now, and that's my guy Yo Bull. You know, shout out Yo Bull Peanut. That actually would be a tough matchup. I ain't even gonna hold you, especially now because I ain't as active. But man, shout out to them guys, man. You mentioned how I named the league after myself. When I came back, did I not say that everything is going to be on my terms and my terms only? And one thing I was always told by people is, hey, Stat, you're the brand. You're the popular one. You're the draw. So put the, you know, you should have named the league Static Battle League. You shouldn't name this or that. This is when I was on the stage, and even on UBL when I created stuff, folks felt like I should have incorporated more of the stat into everything. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to come off selfish. But then I said, you know what? I am the brand. And guess what? Since you claim that you are bigger than everybody else on the platform, looking at the numbers, that would mean you're bigger than the stage, your platform, and Stat Select Rap Battles, my platform. Wouldn't it be beneficial if you put the league in your name because your success can actually help out your brand as a whole? Because I had more people tune in to Stat Select because it had my name in it. People who normally wouldn't watch nothing unless it had to do with me. Now they're willing to tune in because the name, where is it? Stat Select right here, as opposed to when I had the stage or when I was co-owning and scouting for UBL. So again, another mistake that you made. You know what? You actually said you were going to call your league Domo Selects, and it was a joke. But the fact that you even joke like that, there's a little truth in every joke. You know, there that is. So, and hey, you can't. I mean, I wouldn't call it that unless you want to be under static again. But hey, you know, if you want to, go for it. I wouldn't do it, but hey, go for it. We already got one though, as you see. This right here is something where, you know, I feel like a lot of people in the independent scene always want to come off so independent. I got here without this help. I got here without that help. Let me tell you something. If you're battling on a league and you've been there consistently, even if you haven't, any league that you've been on, they helped you get to that point, whether you like it or not. You got to give them credit. Yes, you've helped yourself and you went out on your own, but they still helped you get to that point. Just to let you know, don't disrespect the league owners, because if they didn't have a platform for you, you'd still be rapping at the house on video or in the studio or something. You wouldn't be battling, or you'd be having to travel halfway across the world to go and battle because you didn't have these outlets in your area. So just be a bit more thankful for these people who provide for you, whether you like them or not, whether you fell out with them or not. We all had help. It's part of the game. I've had people from, I'll read this one off. The fact that other reputable leagues like GTX, URL, RBE, and others have scouted talent that I have worked with or recommended speaks volumes. In fact, scouts from 2 out of the 3 platforms mentioned above have even directly contacted me in search of talent. This talent has been selected by them and has gone far. URL scouts have even reached out to book talent from their independent platforms to my platform. So again, when you say that people have not, that I don't do anything for people, you better really go and look at your roster, and you better look at rosters before and ask all these people that remain in this circle, no matter where I go, they come back around, obviously, because I know what I'm doing here, where I've helped them get to. Even guys from other platforms who I've helped get to a certain point. Just wanted to put that out there real quick because, I push talent. I do my job. Now, if you're not ready, I won't do it. A lot of people don't even know how well connected I am, and it's because I don't feel like they're ready for me to put them in a position to get to that point yet. They need to work still. But for everybody else, I've literally battled on leagues as a main event, and these are prestigious platforms. Shout out to my guy Gutta, URL artist, and also he owns The Culture with Trebo. Gutta, and that's a fire platform out in Austin. Gutta said, "Hey, Stat, my guy, Mr. Wright, I really want him to get a battle in before the Crucible comes up, and, I like him. He's really good potential, really talented guy. Hey, Stat, how about booking him out there in Mississippi? I want to see what he'll do out there." And I booked him on the stage against who? Big Tally, who at the time was one of the standouts on our platform. And the fact that, he was willing to look out for his artists to get there so that he could battle on the platform, not only adds prestige to us, but in a sense, that's a big shout out for them on the level that they're on to actually want to work with us. So again, who's not helping? Do you not realize that there are people on your staff that I have directly looked out for to get very big opportunities in places that are hours away from here, days away from here, matter of fact? So when y'all say these things, you got to understand that, when you're talking to me, you got to know who you're talking to in the independent scene. I'm one of them guys out here in the indie scene. You got a chip on your shoulder. I don't know where this chip on your shoulder comes from, but it's been around even when I was over there on the stage, not on it. You always had this chip on your shoulder. You always disagreed with stuff. I don't know what it is or what you're trying to do here, but going to war with Static isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do. You do know that I like promoting more than I like battling. I like being a promoter more than I like to actually battle. And I had the talent to battle where I reached the developmental of a professional platform. And I don't even mention that anymore. Y'all do. I don't say nothing about that. I can still go wherever I want in this culture. And it'll take me far less time. I got one battle coming up. My opponent ain't even announced that I've already sold tickets for the card. I'm the draw. I'm the main event. I'm the stat. I'm most hated stat. I got the I Hate Stat Club, where all these people that randomly pop up that don't know you, but they pop up because you're talking about me. Most of y'all don't even get a lot of engagement on anything until I mention. Domo, matter of fact, you do all this talking and you love to bring up this popularity and all. You had a battle that dropped on iBattle. It was a part of the Black series that they had. Battles get vaulted when they don't reach a certain amount of views on the channel and they remain on that app. I actually watched your battle and I was looking to see, okay, is it going to get to that 1,000 that you often brag about how you get your views and all? Let me tell you something, put it like this. Static would have got that to 1,000 in probably a day. I was doing that on a channel with less subscribers or right around 1,000 subscribers. So imagine a channel like that. So again, this is what I'm talking about when I say we got to be honest here. We got to be real here. Also, I ran a division for that platform before too. So when you speak on who isn't looking out for their people. Please understand that, you seen Mississippi on those flyers, just to let you know that, regardless of my relationship with anybody over there now, which a lot of those people over there I still rock with. So that, I mean, that says enough also. Like, a lot of y'all speak on the whole situation of that and don't even know a half of what you're talking about. But just saying, bro, like, when it comes to this promoter thing, you got some ways to go, man. And I really feel like you're gonna get there. And you're gonna watch this. This is pre-recorded. You're gonna watch this, and I know you're gonna be in the comments, or you're either gonna try to act cool like you don't see this, but you know what's up, man. Should have just called. If you wanted some league owner advice, you should have just called me. But someone like you know everything. So that's why when we do this league versus league, your whole league is going down. I'm telling you that now, like all of y'all, like easy smoke. This is not a competition for us whatsoever. This is very easy. And don't ever mention no name like the dude that you mentioned me with. Let me tell you something. I just want to let y'all know something too. Let me step out of this right quick and be static for a second. Let me be the stat. Matter of fact, y'all do understand that when y'all call me out, you do know that a lot of these league owners hit me up and they say, hey, you do know you're not going against that guy, right? I'm putting you against somebody like so-and-so, way better names than y'all. That's usually what happens. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happens when you sell tickets and you look good. Like, this is what comes with it. I'm the stat. You know what I'm saying? This is what comes with it. It's a whole different ball game here. Whole different ball game. I'm gonna skip that. There's no need to mention that. I'm gonna skip that. There's no need to mention that. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, I'm reading. Oh yeah, this right here. You mentioned how you've done things for artists, but you mentioned it after they criticize you. Now, I understand being mad at people when you've helped them out and they have so much to say. Welcome to being a league owner. It's a thankless job. But I want to tell you this. I've helped people out tremendously when it comes to finances and all. I've kicked out money, during the weekend that really I had for other things in personal life and events and stuff. And I still kicked out something for people who were in my area that may have needed assistance, even though it was their responsibility in the first place to make sure they were covered. I still assisted. So you want to know something that Static hasn't done? I haven't went on Facebook and said, yo, I helped you out. Yo, I did this and that for you. Yo, I did this. Half of y'all, most of y'all don't even know this until they say it, because I don't say a word. You feel me? I'm talking about people who have literally been here far past the time they were supposed to, and I still went out my way and assisted. It's part of being a league owner. It's part of the job. You don't necessarily have to be responsible for these people outside of the event, but at the end of the day, you do your job to make sure that everybody is comfortable. So I don't know where you were going with that. And yeah, if you're spending more than you earn, then that's on you. It's going to be a negative impact in the long run, and you're going to regret it like every other league owner has. But hey, you big money, do your thing. If you want to fund the entire event for the league versus league, I will send you all the expenses, big money, and you can make it happen. Because even though I have the money to do the same, guess what? I'm gonna let you have it. Why? Because I'm a smart businessman. So if you want to go ahead and spend that, and then we split down the middle still, hey, you can do that. I'm willing to do the half and half, and then we split everything down the middle. But if you want to pay for everything, then that's cool. I'm gonna let you do that. That's what you do. You circumvent, and that's what I'm doing right now. So, all right. I want to say this right quick since I see it here. The process of setting up an independent battle rap event is actually quite simple. However, the main challenge lies in dealing with artists' lack of concern or understanding about the expenses involved, as well as managing the egos that often come into play. League owners often give in to these factors, which can hinder the success of an event. And that's a lot of, the reasons why y'all brag about all this money that you have, or how you can pay for this name and that name and this name. Because ultimately, you may not care about the return on the investment, but you will, like when you're like 10 events in. I'm way more than 10 events in. So of course, if anybody can tell you it's me or somebody with more experience in throwing events, or have been throwing them for, a longer duration than I have. But that's one thing for sure. The egos come into play with your artist, and you give in to them. So now you have an artist who doesn't make you anything, and you're putting them against names. And now he thinks he's going to come over here and be entitled enough to believe, hey, I deserve this or that. Not going to happen. Or, hey, our league's good because we got these names here, but you don't make anybody any type of money. But, battle rappers don't really understand business. So we're just going to leave that where it's at. You know what? I like this right here. I like this right here. If you persistently attack SSRB, we're going to definitely clean sweep y'all and shut down your entire platform. That sounded pretty good, huh? I know. I know it did. You know that. Hold on. I need to do that. I need to do that again. Hold on. You know, if you continue to attack Stat Select rap battles, I'm going to make it my job to shut down everything that you all have going on over there on the stage. I mean, I did create it, so it will be nothing to end what I already started. You know, I'm not going to do that. But check this out. To break this down for real, if everything you claimed about your reach and capabilities were true, you wouldn't be so enthusiastic about booking a league versus league event. Instead, you would have chosen a much larger platform. So upon closing this, you want to do a league versus league. You know what I think it is? And there's no script. There's nothing for this. I'm not reading nothing off the screen. I'm going to tell you what I think it is personally, Domo, Stage, Seven, Zilla, whoever. This is what I think, honestly. I believe that, you know, just like everybody when they start a league, especially when they start a league and they have a chip on their shoulder or whatever the case may be, you know, what ends up happening is this right here. It looks really good. Everybody's happy at first because it's even playing field. Everybody can get somewhere with it. And then there's that time where the heat goes away and it's just kind of stagnant. So, hey, you need something that's going to work. Yeah, you booking names and all that, but what's really going to sell you some tickets? Calling out Static and trying to get his guys to go against you so you can have something to brag about. If you were all up there and everything else, you wouldn't be making this a topic right now because we didn't make this a topic. Yo Camp did. So, long story short, that's just me clearing some things up. I know you're going to say something, and I'm probably going to get in the comments and talk or whatever. And I know you still want to do this interview. To be honest with you, I could just text you this because you did text me, but let's do the interview after we do the league versus league event. How about that? How about we do the interview after we do the league versus league? Because when you contact me for an interview and then you make a comment that you made that I had to respond to on here right now, you know, I'm still gonna get what I have to say. I'm gonna get my round off. So for those of y'all watching this is a response. I did not start this. This one is a response. The stage, you know, that is my creation, and it looks like I'm gonna have to destroy my creation coming up next year with the help of my roster here at SSRB. You know, not too much else to say about that. This isn't necessarily some big promo where I'm, hey everybody, we gonna take over. No, this is just me right now telling you this is a shoot. Me telling you right now that yeah, y'all out of there. So whenever we make that happen, we'll make that happen. Y'all stay posted. We got a tournament coming up right now. We got another event, SSRB Tone, coming up. We got a Clutch debut, the Keys debut. You know, they're going against my guys. Oh, yeah, you did say something about booking names. We have had Nove on the platform. You know what I'm saying? And we've had Bill scouting an event. And we got Clutch. We got Keys. We got some pretty fire artists that battled on this platform and are battling on this platform. You know, some heavyweights. And we got more on the way. You feel me? So just stay posted. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know y'all gonna get in the comments and get all unrealistic and stuff. I read everything off for you. You know, I freestyled a couple of things. I had this sitting for quite some time, and I was just like, all right, I need to go ahead and talk about this. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop this on YouTube. I really do want to kind of post this now, but I feel like y'all are gonna be asleep. So I'll wait a little bit and we'll get this posted later. I'm gonna go into the 35-minute mark. There's any comments, anything like that, y'all drop them below now. Let's get some discussions going. And yeah. Y'all don't stand a chance, man. Like none whatsoever. Honestly, I don't really know why I'm doing this outside of the narrative that it revolves around static. I mean, but I'm the stat. That's what comes with this. So, you know, we're gonna be ready right now. I'm building up the league, getting them back into you know, emotion with everything, and we're gonna kick off the business era. But yeah, I mean, what else can I say about this? This is the same way that I'm talking now. I'm going to be talking when this is all said and done, because you know how this is going to go. Your talent knows how this is going to go. Oh, one thing before I leave. Whenever we do this event, I will be taking pictures and signing autographs and everything. So yeah,